This is the engine compartment of the '05 and '06 Jeep Liberty diesel. That's the timing cover right there. This is the radiator and intercooler, and you can see the big engine driven fan right there. That fan comes off after you get this shroud off. I've cut my shroud right about halfway down to make it easier to remove, and when you do that, the shroud just lifts right out and you have access to the fan, which just has a big nut that takes it off of the front crankshaft pulley. It's actually mounted on a bracket and driven off of the serpentine belt. So this timing cover has to come off. This is the dual overhead cams right underneath here. Once the timing belt is off, then this whole intake and valve cover comes off. The valve cover and intake comes down here to, this is the EGR and blow off valve come in from the intercooler line right here. And so behind this valve and underneath here is the oil, EGR oil cooler, which is a big assembly. So to get the valve cover off, you've got to get these 4 flange bolts out as well. You can see right up here, kind of underneath the firewall, you got a couple inches, and then this is your line of injectors. 1, 2, 3. The 4th one's is the hardest to get, and there's like about 14 bolts around this valve cover. So those injectors come out first, pull the lines, and then you can get this valve cover off. You gotta get the thermostat off first, move some hoses out of the way. This is the extra water pump right here. They call it a viscous heater. It just basically, this clutch turns on and makes the engine work harder to get it up to temp quicker, and then it shuts off. And you can turn that off with a tune so you're not working the engine. So it's alternator, and that has to come off too to get to the underneath. This is where your fuel pump is down here. The fuel pump's driven off of the timing, inside of the timing cover. So that's how tight it is. There's the fuel filter and air bleeder valve for the fuel line coming from the gas tank.